Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, we're down to four days and 4 hours approximately till the inauguration. This don't I'm not I'm, don't think this is all going to end in 4 days and 4 hours, but uh, making it through the next 4 days and 4 hours without any serious acts of violence, putting it nicely, it would be great. I started to think about this on our local TV station. We're a pretty laid back state here in Connecticut, right? But our capital in Hartford is expecting up to 2,000 armed protesters this weekend. And what are the possibilities for something just to go wrong? Some cross lines of communication between this bunch of angry, paranoid, armed people and the National Guard and the state police over here. It wouldn't take much. You think about it. If something's just pointed in the wrong direction, if words are misunderstood, this stuff could hit the fan. And I almost, and out of all 50 states, if this is happening in all 50 states, and we're pretty laid back here, when you talk about states like Michigan, Colorado, maybe Idaho, Texas, I'm not picking on you guys, but I can't. I'm really worried. I'm worried that what are the chances of something just going wrong to begin with? The signals getting crossed, somebody just saying they shouldn't, somebody doing something they shouldn't do, saying something they shouldn't say, and everything going to hell in a handbasket real quick. All right, so on the news, they were talking about how a big furniture company they're from Switzerland, I think they're from, here in New Haven, right off 95. It was posted on Facebook that this group of people, Trump supporters, were going to meet there in their parking lot. And once this furniture company found out about it, they were like, no, no, no. As a matter of fact, we're going to tell the authorities, the National Guard, and everybody else, the FBI, of your plans. So don't even think of meeting here. And that's good to see. It's good to see that the normal people, these people are becoming more and more pariahs. Violence is not the answer. If you want to complain about the election being rigged, then that's your right. But it is not your right to take it any further, like we saw last Wednesday. All right, so this thing they were talking about, meeting up at this furniture company parking lot. They were going to do this thing called drag the interstate here in Connecticut, where I guess, you get a bunch of they all drive the big monster trucks to make up for their insecurities under the waist, as we all know, with their flags all flying and they're yelling and yahoos and whatnot. And they're going to drive up and down the interstate harassing the rest of us. Apparently, that's their plans. Hey, you know what? With BLM, we block the roads to make a point. At least we weren't behind the wheel. We weren't behind the wheel with a bud in one hand and a flag in the other, doing 75 down the interstate. At least you could say that for us. But anyway, my plans, I thought about this. What if I come across this group of yahoos driving down the interstate here in Connecticut? That wouldn't be good. I have a low tolerance, really, at this point. Like you guys saw with that flag thing, I just needed to see these bunch of Trump supporters, and I made a beeline for them. And my intention was to instigate there at the very least. Me, one person against about 200 or 300 Trump supporters. So yeah, I don't think it through too much. And so it'd probably be best for people like me to stay off the interstate and not even come in contact with these groups of people that are looking to initiate problems and harass. Come on, really, that's what the point is. Bo made a good point that this isn't any kind of military objective. This is a political, it's making a political statement. So the best thing I think we can do is ignore it. TV stations, the rest of us, the community, ignore it. Let them cry and complain and just ignore it. As we already saw, they're more than happy to blame this on the BLM or the AF, and that's all they need is to get some counter protesters mixed in there, and then they'll start blurring the lines about who did what. We don't need that. We don't need that. Stay away. Let them complain. Let them do what they need to do. And the National Guard and the police will take care of it. All right. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about. My video from yesterday, Trump's monster. I was amazed. I turned on my news this morning. Huffington Post had an article where they talked about that very thing. They had a bunch of quotes from 8con. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You know, the message boards that all the Trump supporters have now scurried to, now that they've been kicked off the main platforms. And their chatter is, a lot of the chatter is that they're upset with Trump, that he's a traitor, and that they're going to move on past him. That they don't care what he says now. There was quotes in the Huffington Post piece. Again, I think this is a Huffington Post piece from either January 15th or 16th. Check it out. So I'm glad to say, not to pat myself on the back too much, but the video from yesterday, my video from yesterday, Trump's monster, dead on, that this thing has grown out of his control. What it truly is a white nationalist movement, without a doubt. And there's a couple articles, I think, on Vox and a couple other media outlets talking about how this is really never really about the economy. This was a white nationalist movement from the very beginning. It was a bunch of white middle-aged people fearing that people of other colors and races and religions were doing better. And somehow that was taking, when these people always seem to think that when other people are lifted up and given the same rights as them, that it somehow takes away from them and their rights. Go figure. I don't know. And like I've talked about on all my videos, I heard this, since the 70s and 80s, that, this group of people are especially fearful of white people becoming a minority. That just says a lot on how they believe inside, how they've treated the minorities, because they're fearful that they're going to become one themselves. So that kind of says a lot about their own guilt complex right there, that there's going to be retribution. They're fearing retribution, basically. It says a lot about them. So moving forward, if you see these Trump caravans, or whatever you want to call them, on the interstate, these drag for Trump, whatever, drag the interstate, Yahoo conventions, just stay away. Do everybody a favor. Don't egg them on. Let them put the nails in their own coffin. All right, you guys have a safe and healthy weekend. I'll be back later, probably with another video. You guys have a good Saturday.